Hi, this is Melanie from Hook to the Left, and today we're going to take a look at this book. And I'm going to let you know what I think about it, what I like about it, and there's one thing that I wish they did that I'm not seeing where they do in this book. But I'll tell you about that at the end. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi everybody, thank you so much for joining me today. So today we're going to take a look at this book. It's called Beyond the Square Crochet Motifs. It's 144 circles, hexagon, triangles, squares, and other unexpected shapes. It's by Eddie Ekman, who is also the author of the Crochet Answer Book. If you like things crochet and yarn, such as reviews on the books, on the yarn, on hooks, on lots of stuff like that, then go ahead and go down below and hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the bell so that you're reminded each time I come out with a brand new video. Why don't we go ahead and take a look at this book, and you can tell me what you think at the end. Alright, so this cover, first off, is gorgeous. This is a beautiful, colorful cover. I know, you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but covers are important, aren't they? Alright, so one thing I do like about this is the binding. It is a spiral binding, but the spiral is covered, which is one of my favorite ways to bind a crochet book. Because it does lay flat without you having to have something to hold it down, which is something I like a lot. Now it does start off with what your traditional, most traditional crochet books start off with. They talk a little bit about yarn, some about the basic stitches, and sizing and gauge, and talking about all of that. And then some of the keys for how to read the way that they put stuff, or the patterns of the motifs in this yarn. Here they talk about, you know, what the symbols mean, because they do some graphs, and what they look like as a stitch. And then it does show you, like here it says reading the chart. Some more of that, how to closing around. It even shows you how to do they call it a sliding loop. Some people call it the magic circle, and I think there's a couple of other names for it. And then they show you how to do the chain circle, or the chain ring. And then how to bring in a new color. They even talk a little bit about color and doing different color motifs in the same motif, different color options in the same motif. And then they talk a little bit here about a join as you go, so joining your different motifs. And that comes to the one thing that I don't like about this yarn. So they have this book. They have all these different styles of motifs, which are beautiful. But this is about, right here, it's just joining motifs. It really doesn't go into major depth on how to join these different shapes and ideas on ways to join these different shapes, because sometimes when you get odd shapes, you got to figure out some other way to join them. So for example, you may have to put a triangle in there and then join the triangle to join all the different squares, and things like that. Now as you make things your own, you'll learn to how to figure this out, and it'll be like a puzzle, and it'll be kind of fun. But it would have been neat for them to have a little section beyond this right here on how to join these motifs that you're seeing. Now here's one of my favorite things that they talk about. It says principles of flatness. So what this talks about is common problems that people have when crocheting motifs. And here's an example of it. Sometimes you have them curl up like this, or it gets wavy like that. And it talks about problem solving whenever you have these types of worries when you're doing a motif. So I really like that. I also really like this. It shows you how what the difference is when you're turning a corner of a square, or not even just a square, but say a triangle or other shapes. What the difference is in why these look so different. So, and it shows you this is 2 double crochet, chain 2, and then 2 double crochet. This is a common grainy corner. Now if you choose not to do the chain 2, you just chain 1, then you get more of a rounded corner. Here you do 2 double crochet, a triple crochet, and then 2 double crochet, so it stays filled in without this little gap here. It stays pretty filled in, but it's still kind of a sharper corner. and then this one is 5 double crochet. So you're still rounding that corner, but it's a little bit more rounded. Not quite as rounded as this, but it's still a little bit more rounded. So I do really like that they showed those examples, so that as you start creating your own motifs, you have an idea of what to expect. All right, and then it talks a little bit about the edging here, and here it talks about, you know, how to make these motifs your own and what to do with them. And while it doesn't go into detail on how to put them together to make these things, it does show them on different things, you know, how they're made on different things and how to just make them your own, which I think that is so neat that they did that. I do really like that. Now, one thing that they did is they did section off these, and let me show you. So they do have different sections for the different shapes. And right here, see, this is the first page of the triangle section. So I thought that was really cool. Something I really liked about how they separated out the different motifs and the different sections here. So they have the square, they have the hexagon, they have circle motifs, and the different sections that they have. So they've got circles, they've got hexagons, they've got triangles, squares, and then unusual shapes. And that could be something like a star, just different unusual shapes. Even something that's been really popular is like the teardrop, or like a peacock feather, or something like that. So one thing that I thought was interesting is in the squares. When I did look at the squares, it wasn't just you have your basic squares. You have, and they even show, they don't start with the granny square because it's the most common. They really don't show it. But I like this. This is something I found interesting is, while this isn't something you'd look at it and say it's a square, well, there's Stella, by the way. She's just gonna hang out a little bit while we're doing this. But while this right here, you wouldn't necessarily call it a square when you first look at it, if you look at the overall shape of it, it is a square. So it's got the 4 planes are squares. So I like that they did that as well, that they're not just sticking to your basic squares. They're doing something, they're finding some things a little bit different. So I found this interesting. Just make yourself comfortable there, Stella. It's all good. It's all good, baby. All right, so that's pretty much it. You go into the index. They talk a little bit about specific, you know, like here's the chart, the meaning of the these graphs that they have. And then at the very end, also they have the glossary and the index, and then they show you some more books made from this publisher. I've got the One Skein Wonder, which I think is a great book. I need to check this one out. The Crocheters Skill Building Workshop. That's pretty cool. I think I might have to check that one out and let you guys know what that is. What do you guys think? If you think I should get this book and check it out and let you guys know what I think, then go down below and hey, let me know if I should do that. If I should get that book and then let you guys know what I think. But that is it for today's review of this book. So overall, I think this is a great book. It's a great book to have in your toolbox, especially if you aspire to start designing your own. Now, if you're looking for full patterns and aren't interested in coming up with your own combination of things, this may not be the book for you. But if you're an aspiring crochet designer, or you just like to design your own things, you just need kind of like a jumping off point, then this is a great book to have, I think, to have in your arsenal. I have a feeling I'm going to be using this more and more as I just start to design more and more of my own stuff. So if you enjoyed this video, as I hope you did, then go ahead and go down below and hit that like button. I would really appreciate it. It helps with the algorithm and helps other people to find my videos, especially ones like this. And it also lets me know that these are the kind of videos that you like to see as somebody who watches my channel. And while you're down there, if you haven't yet, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. And let me know what you would use this book for, if you would buy this book. And I've got this book linked down below, just in case you are interested in purchasing it. Alright, so you guys have an amazing day. Bye-bye.